Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Amira binti Yusuf. I'm going to present introduction.
The development of the internet provided consumers with an entire new experience in terms of acquiring information, comparing items and prices, and the ability to make purchases via the internet. As a result, online customer behavior was a crucial factor for e-commerce company to consider. To accurately forecast customer behavior on the internet, company must first comprehend how, where, and why people behave online. The aim of the chapter was to identify the study background, the problem statement that influenced the challenges, the research objective to accomplish, the research question, the study scope on the type of respondent, and the limitation we encounter when carrying out this study. The study will therefore provide a better understanding of why and how online consumers make purchasing decisions, especially among young adults. Shopee is one of Malaysian top 50 e-commerce enterprises based on the total number of customers, the number of social media followers, the number of staff, and their mobile app ranking. Shopee and others believe that online buying should be simple, convenient, and pleasurable. Those who purchase and use products and services are considered as consumers. Young adults were defined as those aged 15 to 40 years old, according to the Malaysia National Youth Development Policy. Today, young individuals are seen as having the most purchasing power. The media had a strong influence on their routines and behavior. They enjoy discovering new things and experimenting with their surroundings. There were some behavioral patterns that youth adults have when buying on Shopee. Customer research was an approach for studying. There were few challenges that consumers need to face when doing online purchasing. The problem may happen more than once, especially when it comes to application issue, shipping fee, and authenticity. Due to the problems, the consumer satisfaction may decrease and could lead to lack of trust when buying online on Shopee application. There are 5 research objectives. First is to identify the relationship of consumer satisfaction and consumer behavior among the respondents. 2 is to investigate the relationship between continuity and consumer behavior among respondents. 3 is to find relationship between originality and consumer behavior among the respondents. 4 is to recognize the relationship between reliability and consumer behavior among the respondents. And the last one is to study the relationship in between naturalness and consumer behavior among the respondents. There are 5 research questions. First, what was the relationship of consumer satisfaction and consumer behavior among the respondents? 2, what was the relationship between continuity and consumer behavior among the respondents? 3, what was the relationship between originality and customer behavior among the respondents? 4, what was the relationship between reliability and consumer behavior among the respondents? And the last one is, what was the relationship of naturalness and consumer behavior among the respondents? These study findings focus on the way to get greater consumer satisfaction and what did Shopee apps had to offer regarding their authenticity of the products and services for the consumer who choose Shopee apps as an online shopping platform. One of our research goals was to investigate the elements that influence customer decision and satisfaction to shop online in Shopee apps. Researchers chose to focus on 4 criteria. First is continuity, originality, reliability, and the naturalness. The study was only among young adults aged between 15 to 40 years old. During the study was conducted, it was between October 2021 until February 2022, which was still in the state of COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. The limitation of the study was only for young adults who use online retail shopping named Shopee. Other than that, it was because only applicable to the state of Lembah Pantai. The summary of this chapter was this study aims to identify the challenges and problems that young adults encounter when using the Shopee apps as one of their online shopping platform. Apparently, the Google form had been used to distribute the questionnaire, and respondents will have to select the problems they had been experiencing when they are shopping online on the Shopee apps.
Theoretical framework. The major focus in this study is to identify the relationship consumer behavior and customer satisfaction and the importance of originality, continuity, reliability, and naturalness will affected to consumer behavior towards e-commerce among young adults in Malaysia. Authenticity. The definition of authenticity is varied and encompasses a wide range of research disciplines. Two investigation streams are highlighted in the marketing literature. Consumers judge authenticity based on self-relevant characteristics, a second-order construct allowing for differences in relevance and salience among persons, goods, brands, and contexts. Continuity. When the continuity queue informs the customer that the brand has been there for a long time and hasn't changed significantly, the brand is more likely to be perceived as genuine by the respondents. Because consistency is a characteristic of brand legitimacy, this is to be anticipated. Perceptions of brand authenticity may be based on the brand's essence as represented through its marketing. Originality. Authenticity assessment might be based on originality or iconic signals, according to Martinek 2004. Everything that is not replicated or copied by something else is referred to as identical cues. Something is authentic in this sense because it is considered completely original and genuine. Reliability. Consumers today want business to demonstrate a genuine dedication to the identities they represent, as well as genuine store. They don't want overstated or misleading information. They want the facts to be accurate and clear. Naturalness. Brands are needed to be honest about who they are, what they represent, and what they provide under these conditions, as well as to sustain it. Consumers buy or reject products depending on how genuine they believe they are. Consumer satisfaction. Consumer satisfaction is an emotional reaction that customers have to a product they have purchased after comparing the performance or outcomes of a product to performance or expected results. Satisfaction is a sense of joy or disappointment in the person. By using theoretical framework, this study has tested what was the reaction of the buyers among young adults in Malaysia after purchasing their products with Shopee?
In our hypothesis shows that there is significant relationship between consumer satisfactions and consumer behavior, and there is a significant relationship between authenticity and consumer behavior. Authenticity has several fractions. It is continuity, originality, reliability, and naturalness. Customer satisfaction is the feeling of satisfied on the end user that purchase goods in online platform. Lack of knowledge regarding consumer behavior will influence the customer satisfactions by understanding what makes some customers hesitant to shop online. Seller can find way to mitigate those negative aspects. Consumers have become more concerned with the originality concept. Consumer purchasing behavior are significantly influenced by brand originality. Research hypothesis 1 is there is a significant relationship between consumer satisfaction and consumer behavior. And research hypothesis 2, shows there is a significant relationship between authenticity and consumer behavior. There is a significant relationship between continuity and consumer behavior. There is a significant relationship between originality and consumer behavior. There is a significant relationship between reliabilities and consumer behavior. And the last one, there is a significant relationship between naturalness and consumer behavior in our research.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Atika binti Ashari. I would like to discuss about chapter 3, research methodology, and this chapter will discuss on information on research methodology and what method that we'll use in this research. This research will provide information on the study purpose. To satisfy this goal, the questionnaire will distribute to the WhatsApp and using the Google link form to get all the information data. Purpose of the study. The aim of this study is to study the online consumer behavior towards Shopee as e-commerce online in Malaysia among young adults in Lembah Pantai Kuala Lumpur, where correlation are selected to use to examine the relationship between DV and IV. Next is type of investigation. Correlation research gather the data from individual on two or more variables, then seek to determine if the variables are related. Study setting. The reason of this study is to study the online consumer behavior on teenager and young adult in university or currently working that usually buying good by using the online applications and what is their choice when purchasing a good. Next is unit of analysis. The individual was used as the unit analysis in this study. The goal of this study is to determine consumer attitude on e-commerce among Malaysian young adult. Next is the population. The population are defined as collections of elements. Participants in this study had to be young adult in Lembah Pantai Kuala Lumpur who use Shopee application for e-commerce. Next is the sample size. Should be more than 100. Potential response are aimed for if they are already purchased any product using the Shopee application or if they want to have the survey of the product and the price. Next is sampling technique. The study used non-probability sampling where research will use quota sampling. To select right respondent, this study used screening question to ensure the respondent had experience with this service. Next is a survey instrument. Main instrument is a questionnaire. There were 20 questions which related to the topic of the study and have separated 4 sections. Section A is the demographic information, which is contain gender, ethnic, age group, and professional status. Section B is a focus on dimension, on the continuity, originality, reliability, and naturalness. Section C is contained on consumer behavior, which is provided 5 questions, and then goes to the section D, which is consumer satisfaction, also have a 5 questions. That's all for the chapter 3.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Wardah Ashkimatul Azam and today I would like to present chapter 4 for research methods. For introduction, the finding and analysis of the research on the elements impacting consumer behavior towards e-commerce, Shopee in Lembah Pantai. We gathered the findings produced by the questionnaire collected through an online survey on Google Form. Based on the result of data cleaning, there is no missing value because it shows that all is 0 for count and percent. Next, we will go to the summary of respondents' profile. The total number of respondents were 105. For female, we got 38 respondents, but for female, we got 67 respondents. The age range was as below. 15 to 19 years old, we got 8 respondents. 20 to 24 years old, we got 39 respondents. 25 to 29 years old, we got 24 respondents. And 30 to 40 years old, we got 34 respondents. As for ethnics, for Chinese, we got 16 respondents. Indian, 1 respondent. Malay, 86 respondents. And others, 1 respondent. Next, for the reliability test, the comeback alpha was used to review and evaluate the data gathered to acquire credible statistics. Firstly, the comeback alpha reliability test shown in table 4.4, all the independent variables had a value greater than 0.6. Secondly, the naturalness had the greatest test result with a reading 0.958 consisted of 3 items. Next, the second highest comeback alpha, which was 0.952, indicating originality that was evaluated as excellence, consists of 5 items. And lastly, the lowest was reliability, was at 0.922 and has excellent consistency, consists of 4 items. For the mean and standard deviation for continuity, for C1, C2, C3 and C4, it shows that majority the respondent was satisfied. For mean and standard deviation for originality, it shows that majority of the respondents were satisfied because the maximum statistic were 5. For the mean and standard deviation for reliability, it shows that majority of respondents were satisfied because the maximum statistics were 5. Next, for the mean and standard deviation for naturalness, it shows that the majority of the respondents were satisfied because the maximum statistics were 5. Next, for consumer satisfaction, the mean and standard deviation shows that the majority of the respondents were satisfied because the maximum statistics were 5. Lastly, for the mean and standard deviation for consumer behavior, it shows that majority of the respondents were satisfied because the maximum statistics was 5. The relationship between continuity and consumer behavior had a positive significance because the significance showed as 0.00 and the Pearson correlation was 0.799. Next, the relationship between originality and consumer behavior was that the positive significance because the significance of the two terms showed it as 0.000 and the Pearson correlation showed it as 0.743. Next, the relationship between reliability and consumer behavior. Based on the table, reliability and consumer behavior have a positive significant association. The relationship between naturalness and consumer behavior had a positive significant association because the p-value is 0.00 and the Pearson correlation, the R values show as 0.716. And the strength of the relationship between naturalness and consumer behavior was high positive relationship. Next, the relationship between consumer satisfaction and consumer behavior shows it had a positive significant association because the p-value was 0.00 and the R value was 0.735. To summarize, all the independent variables and dependent variables show a significant relationship because all the variables show as significant based on the p-value with 0.00. Therefore, the result showed convergent and concurrent validity. For regression analysis, it shows that the significant p-value should be less than 0.05. The R-squared 0.74 means that 74% 5 independent variables, which was consumer satisfaction, reliability, continuity, originality, naturalness, contributes to the consumer behavior to 74%. Next, another 26 of the variance in the dependent variable was not explained by the variable in this study. It may be caused by other variables such as website design or price and other elements. The adjusted R-squared that finalized the addition of the independent variable to the model Durbin was said the value was 2.078, which should be more than 1, which means the model will fix. Based on the table, it shows that the significant p-value should be less than 0.05. Continuity is significant value. For originality was significant value because it shows it as 0.28 and the beta value was 0.200. Next, for consumer satisfaction, it was significant because the p-value was 0.09 and the beta value was 2.221. There were only 3 factors that associated to the consumer behavior, such as continuity, originality, and consumer satisfaction, because the significant p-value were less than 0.05. However, for reliability and naturalness, it doesn't show the significance because the significant p-value was more than 0.05. To summarize the hypothesis of the result, the relationship between consumer satisfaction and consumer behavior was supported. The relationship between authenticity and consumer behavior was supported. The relationship between continuity and consumer behavior was supported. And the relationship between originality and consumer behavior was supported. However, for the relationship between reliability and consumer behavior, and also relationship between naturalness and consumer behavior were not supported due to the insignificance of the p-value.
Hi everyone, in this chapter 5, the descriptive method has been used in this research finding. As you can see, there were 70% who are responded to this questionnaire. The age is between 20 to 24 years old, and there was mostly in female in gender and Malay. The profession mostly are in the private sector, so that they will visit this Shopee application about 2 times per day. Next, this screen shows that the result of analysis on independent variable and dependent variable based on the regression analysis. As you can see that the continuity, originality, reliability, naturalness, and customer satisfaction gave the positive result in R value, in which it is stated that the positive relationship with the consumer behavior. Next, in a nutshell, on summary finding, the customer will continue using this Shopee application. It shows that customers satisfied with the features on Shopee application, like the advance in technology that has been introduced to the customer. Next, of course, the Shopee guarantee policy, because the payment they will hold until the consumer receive the goods in a good condition. Next, in this world, people doubt the value of mass production. Customer more concerned about the concept of originality of the product. Next, the reliability and naturalness. There was no effect at all to the consumer behavior. Thank you.